Action! 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Prepare to evacuate.
Let them have it.
The very best from the legendary Jerry Anderson. Super Marionation Spectaculars, digitally remastered as you've never seen them before. With the release of all 39 digitally remastered episodes of cult classic Stingray on video and DVD.
We are about to launch Stingray.
Relive the underwater adventures of the World Aquanaut Security Patrol.
You can say that again.
Or meet them for the very first time.
Wow, this is a real pleasure.
As they battle Titan, evil tyrant of the underwater world.
Anything can happen in the next half hour.
Stingray, all 39 episodes, out to own on video and DVD. Travel through time with Space 1999.
I'll take that chance.
As unmissable today as it's always been.
We're being looked after. We're safe.
Action-packed deep space adventure with the crew of Moonbase Alpha.
Wait a minute. It is the...
Martin Landau stars as Commander John Kearney.
Yeah, that's me.
With Barbara Bain as the ultra-cool head of medical.
I'm Dr. Russell.
Space 1999, Series 1, only on DVD for the first time ever. Dark, deadly and dangerous. Captain Scarlet is coming soon on video and DVD for the first time ever.
It's great to be back.
Join the colourful cast of World Security Organization Spectrum under the command of Colonel White.
Dismissed.
The fearless Captain Scarlet.
Yes, sir.
And the brave backup of the beautiful Angels.
Girls to all stations.
As they enter a deadly war of nerves
Take a look at that.
with the Mysterons.
Steady.
It's back,
Captain Scarlet.
and it's better than ever.
SIG, Captain.
Captain Scarlet, coming soon to video and DVD.
Thunderbirds are go. Get moving, boys.
One of the most popular TV series in the history of television is out now on video and DVD.
Well, I'll be...
Digitally restored using advanced technology, Thunderbirds is back as you've never seen it before.
What are we waiting for?
All your favorite characters.
And radio Jeff at once to warn him.
All the amazing Thunderbird crafts.
Proceeding at full speed.
And all the action
Approaching danger zone.
and intrigue.
Double brains?
The most popular TV series ever.
And that's how it's gonna be. Always.
Thunderbirds.
Any more information for me, Father?
Yes, it's yours to own on video and DVD now.
FAB.
The finger is on the trigger. About to unleash a force with terrible powers beyond the comprehension of man. This force we shall know as the Mysterons. This man will be our hero, for fate will make him indestructible. His name, Captain Scarlet. This is the Trigger, a Martian exploration vehicle. Inside, 3 men from Earth.
Well, that about completes our patrol, Captain Black. Once again, nothing to report. But those signals we monitored at Spectrum, they must have come from somewhere. Let's just take a look over that ridge, and then we'll return to Earth. Okay, sir. Will you take a look at that? been spotted. They're getting ready to attack. They're obviously hostile. Okay, Lieutenant, let them have it. Well, we'll survey the wreckage, Lieutenant Dean, collect a few samples, and then return to Earth. I'll go get my spacesuit. Look at that! Shut down motors. Maintain radio silence. Let's get out of here. No. Wait.
We are peaceful beings, and you have tried to destroy us. But you cannot succeed. You and your people will pay for this act of aggression. This is the voice of the Mysterons. We know that you can hear us, Earthmen. Our retaliation will be slow, but nonetheless effective. It will mean the ultimate destruction of life on Earth. It will be useless for you to resist, for we have discovered the secret of reversing matter, as you have just witnessed. One of you will be under our control. You will be instrumental in avenging the Mysterons. Our first act of retaliation will be to assassinate your world president.
Lieutenant Green?
Yes, sir?
Launch Angels 1, 2, and 3.
Destiny Angel?
Immediate launch.
Spectrum is green.
Harmony and Rhapsody Angels?
Immediate launch, Angels 2 and 3.
Spectrum is green.
All Angels Skyborne, sir.
Captain Scarlet?
Any new developments?
No, sir. Proceeding as planned to rendezvous with the world president and escort him to Spectrum Maximum Security Building.
Captain Brown,
Yes, sir.
I'm putting you in charge of this operation.
Yes, sir.
Captain Scarlet,
Sir?
after rendezvous has been effected, return here to Cloud Base.
Yes, sir. Well, your first big assignment. I wish you luck. Thanks. Do you think the president's life really is in danger? Well, judging by what happened on the Martian expedition, I'd say the Mysterons have the capability of carrying out their threat. If only we were fighting something we understood, something tangible, something in 3 dimensions. I know what you mean. We can only hear them over our radios, but I've got a feeling they're with us all the time. congratulate you on your escape. You're a very lucky man, Captain Scarlet. Now, can I have your report?
Thank you, sir. The rendezvous took place as planned. All security arrangements have been attended to. The streets of New York are cleared. Our guards are placed on all strategic buildings, and the world president will soon be entering the city boundaries.
Yes, Colonel White?
Captain Brown, our 3 Angels report that they are now overflying your motorcade.
Spectrum is green.
Spectrum is taking no chances, Captain.
No, sir. Let me give you a rundown on the precautions we've taken. If you look through your window, you will see that we have armed guards placed on every building along the route. The Spectrum helicopter is overflying the motorcade. And the Spectrum Angels are patrolling the area.
Angels is the right word for that team. I'm most impressed by all the precautions taken, Captain. However, I'll be happier when we reach our destination. We're dealing with forces that we don't completely understand.
Just an electronic check, sir. You're obviously carrying no weapons. Okay, don't panic.
For a moment, you had me worried, Captain.
We're nearly there, sir.
Well, so far, so good. So this will be our home for the next few weeks. I hope you play a good game of three-dimensional chess, Captain.
I play a very good game, sir.
What's that?
Don't worry, sir. It's electronic eyes. They're watching our every move.
Well, I can see I have nothing to fear while I'm in the hands of the Spectrum organization. I was saying, Captain Brown, I have no worry while your organization is looking after me. Captain Brown? Captain Brown, are you all right?
Cloud base. There has been an explosion in Spectrum Maximum Security Building. Report. Total destruction.
And so, Mr. President, the first attempt to assassinate you by the Mysterons has failed. It is now our intention to move you to a new place of maximum security. But before we do so, let's take a look at what really happened.
I don't understand, Captain.
You'll see in a moment, sir. The pictures from the concealed cameras in your suite were recorded in another building, so luckily they're safe.
Spectrum Information Center, roll the videotape. Roll on. Okay. Roll on. Right, try it now. The first thing that recording tells us is that you only just escaped with your life. And the second thing it tells us is that Captain Brown had a bomb on his person. Possibly a trigger to set off a larger bomb planted in the building.
The whole thing is just incredible. Are you suggesting that Captain Brown was part of this plot?
Captain Brown was one of my finest men, That is one of the few things I can be sure about, as of this time. Since the Zero-X mission to Mars, there have been a number of peculiar happenings. Captain Black, who led that expedition, again a trusted man, disappeared on his return and hasn't been seen since. And now this. Captain Scarlet.
Yes, sir?
You are to proceed with the President to London, and you will be escorted by the Angel flight. The life of the world's President is in your hands. I do not have to remind you that we are fighting forces that we do not understand. Anything could happen.
Spectrum Control.
Spectrum New York reports body of Captain Brown found near scene of car crash.
What does this mean, sir?
The Captain Brown, who escorted the President, must have been an imposter. Something must have happened at that car crash that we don't understand.
Captain Scarlet was there.
Captain Scarlet. Whatever happened to Captain Brown may also have happened to Captain Scarlet. Lieutenant Green, contact Destiny Angel immediately and tell her to escort Captain Scarlet back to the carrier.
Yes, sir.
You are to return to Cloud Base immediately. Captain Scarlet, did you receive my message? Cloud Base? Captain Scarlet does not answer.
Something has happened to Captain Scarlet. Somehow the Mysterons have affected him. That means the President is in grave danger. They're just crossing the English coast. Lieutenant Green, put me in direct contact with Destiny Angel.
Yes, sir.
Destiny Angel, now listen carefully.
I want you to make a dummy attack on Captain Scarlet's aircraft. Open fire and make sure you miss.
SIG.
Return to base, Captain Scarlet. You heard what they said. Spectrum, this is your world president speaking.
Cloud Base. Captain Scarlet and the President have ejected. Repeat, ejected.
SIG, survey them on their descent. Report on their landing position.
SIG.
Lieutenant Green, give me Spectrum Headquarters, London.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Colonel White, Cloud Base. Captain Scarlet and the World President have ejected approximately 60 miles southwest of London city centre. Have the nearest Spectrum pursuit vehicle on the road immediately.
Yes, sir.
Captain Scarlet and the President have landed. I can see their parachutes in a field near the road. Captain Scarlet has taken the President at gunpoint to a nearby car, and they have now left heading in a northerly direction.
SIG, pass radio fix on car and local map references. Spectrum pursuit vehicle will be operational in 5 minutes.
SIG.
Captain Blue of Spectrum. Pursuit vehicle A69, please.
Pass, please. I see you have expert ratings on SPVs. It must be tricky facing backwards and driving by TV monitor.
You get used to it.
Captain Blue, Captain Scarlet's vehicle. White Saloon, registration CR 2X00, has just turned onto M21. in direction of London, Carview.
Destiny Angel, I have joined the M21. I should make contact with Captain Scarlet's car in a few minutes.
Rhapsody Angel. There are only two roads Captain Scarlet's car cannot take. One of them terminates at London, Carview. Peel off and destroy viaduct on the London road. SIG. Well done, Rhapsody Angel. Captain Blue, Captain Scarlet's car has now turned off the M21 and is heading toward the London Carview.
Spectrum Helicopter A42. Divert to London Carview.
SIG.
Calling Spectrum Angels, Captain Blue, and Helicopter A42. Captain Scarlet is now trapped. Soon he will be climbing the Carview. And when he gets to the top, that's the end of the line.
You must be crazy. Your escape route is blocked. Why don't you give up now before it's too late for both of us? Spectrum Helicopter A42. What is your position?
I'm already heading for London Carview. We'll rendezvous in 1 minute.
Captain Scarlet, this is Captain Black relaying instructions from the Mysterons. We have taken over helicopter A42. It will pick you and the President up from the Sky Park. I will again remind you, we must have the world President alive.
The Mysteron instructions will be carried out.
Captain Scarlet is leaving his car. He has the President at gunpoint. And they are climbing out on the girder structure at the side of the Sky Park.
SIG. Spectrum Helicopter A42. You know the situation. As soon as you arrive, your first target is Captain Scarlet. And make sure you shoot accurately. He's right next to the President. Then winch the President to safety. All this if I don't get there before you myself.
SIG.
Helicopter A42, I can see you. I'll stand by while you come in to attack. You've got better cover than I have. You'll find Captain Scarlet on the west corner of the Sky Park. A42, did you receive my message? Please acknowledge. Destiny Angel, helicopter A42 is firing at me. Must now be considered as hostile.
SIG.
Destiny
Destiny Angel. Come in for attack.
Repeat. Come in for attack.
SIG.
Okay, Captain, you don't stand a chance. You throw your gun away, and I'll come in and pick you both up.
You heard him, Scarlet. Do what he says.
Okay, Captain Scarlet. It's either gonna be you or me.
That is definitely Captain Scarlet.
Members of Spectrum, our first operation against the Mysterons has been a success. The world president is safe. The man who hijacked him and fell 800 feet from the car view has been positively identified as Captain Scarlet. What is even more amazing, Dr. Fawn reports that despite his fatal injuries, he is returning to life and is no longer under the control of the Mysterons. It would seem that this Captain Scarlet is now indestructible. This presents us with the clear and exciting expectation that he will become our greatest asset in the fight against the Mysterons.
Captain Scarlet. Captain Scarlet. Captain Scarlet. Captain Scarlet. Captain Scarlet. Captain Scarlet. Indestructible Captain Scarlet.
The Mysterons, sworn enemies of Earth. possessing the ability to recreate an exact likeness of an object or person. But first, they must destroy. Leading the fight, one man fate has made indestructible. His name, Captain Scarlet.
This is the voice of the Mysterons. We know that you can hear us, Earthmen. You will pay for your unprovoked attack on our complex on Mars. We will be avenged. We will assassinate the Director General of the United Asian Republic.
This is Colonel White to all members of Spectrum.
The Mysterons have announced that they intend to assassinate the Director General of the United Asian Republic. They have already made one unsuccessful attempt on his life, and you can be certain they will try again.
The Director General is the elected leader of 200 million people, and I don't have to spell out the consequences if he is killed. This must not be allowed to happen. The Director General is scheduled to leave London International Airport at 1500 hours International Time today. Every precaution must and will be taken. His safety will be in your hands. Captain Blue, you will leave as soon as possible.
Right, sir.
Will Captain Scarlet be going with you?
Captain Scarlet? I should hardly think so. Well, Doctor?
Just one or two questions, Captain Scarlet, and my tests are complete.
Right, Doctor.
I want you to cast your mind back to just before the crash.
The crash?
Yes, Captain. Tell me everything you remember.
Well, let's see. We were on our way to escort the world president to New York. I was driving. Captain Brown was with me. I remember I wished him luck. Well, your first big assignment. I wish you luck.
Thanks. Do you think the president's life really is in danger?
Well, judging by what happened on the Martian expedition, I'd say the Mysterons have the capability of carrying out their threat.
If only we were fighting something we understood. Something tangible. Something in 3 dimensions.
I know what you mean. We can only hear them over our radios, but I've got a feeling they're with us all the time. I remember feeling the heat of the flames on the back of my neck.
And then?
Then,
Do you recall anything else?
No, nothing. The rest is a blank.
I see. Fine. Thank you, Captain. You can relax now.
What's the verdict, Doctor?
Well, you have been through an experience outside the knowledge of medical science. For 6 hours, your mind and body were taken over by an unknown force, the Mysterons. You were a robot, which they used for their own ends. A robot that was indestructible. In human terms, you were killed several times over.
Killed? I don't understand. How could I have been killed? I don't even have a scar.
Right, Captain. Within hours, your injuries healed without a trace. You are exactly as you were before the episode, with one exception.
And that is?
My tests have proved conclusively you have retained the ability of retrometabolism. A bullet will make you bleed. You will feel the pain. But after a few hours, even a fatal wound will heal completely. Captain Scarlet, you are still virtually indestructible.
Well, I've read your report, Doctor, and made my decision. Captain Scarlet, the tremendous implications of all this may not yet be fully understood. And naturally, further tests will have to be carried out. But in the present threatening situation, I'm ready to take a calculated risk. If you agree, I'd like you back on duty as of now.
I'm ready, Colonel.
Thank you, Captain. We face a formidable task, but I think you may well be our greatest asset in the fight against the Mysterons. Gentlemen, we have a job to do.
Yes, sir. I leave for London right away.
SIG. Lieutenant Green?
Sir?
Plan B is operational. Launch all Angels.
Yes, sir. Angels 2 and 3, immediate launch.
SIG. Good luck.
All scheduled personnel proceed to London International Airport. Your radio link is Channel 021. The code call is Zodiac. Repeat, Zodiac. Captain Blue will be your field commander.
SIG.
Switch on the display, Lieutenant Green.
Yes, sir.
Within an hour, the airport will be sealed. But I have a feeling somewhere plans are being made to break that seal.
Intercontinental Airlines New York announces the departure of Stratajet Flight DT-19, bound for London International Airport.
Level off.
Leveling off, sir.
Reduce to MEC.
Maximum efficiency cruise.
Have we had a flash from the weather satellite?
Yes, sir. Slight turbulence around PONR, but a 30-knot tailwind all the way.
Good. We should be in London for lunch. It's great to have you back on duty, Captain Scarlet.
It's great to be back. Do we go straight to the airport?
No. We land about 30 miles from it and drive the rest of the way. I want to check the route the Director General will take.
Reference 10/4, July 10th. Dear Sir, the shipment of steel received last week at my Peterville works. Can I help you?
Captain Blue, Spectrum.
Identification? Thank you.
The trailer over there.
Thank you, sir.
Spectrum Agent 042, Pursuit Vehicle 105, requisitioned at 1300 hours local time.
We are en route to the airport. We'll be there in approximately 12 minutes.
SIG, Captain Blue.
We're 1,600 miles from London. With this tailwind, we should be there in 70 minutes. We're just passing the PONR. Trouble on the port outer, sir. It's a flare-up.
Shut it down.
Number 1 starboard's cutting, sir.
Shut that down, too.
Losing power on number 2 starboard.
What?
Number 2 is cut out, sir.
Send out a mayday to London.
Mayday, mayday, mayday. This is Delta Tango 19 to London Control. This is Delta Tango. Come in, London. Come in, London Control. The radio's dead, sir.
We've no choice. Emergency procedure.
We've lost all power.
We can't have.
There's no response at all.
Hydraulics?
Negative.
Electrics?
Negative.
Auxiliaries?
Negative, all negative. It's as if someone or something has disconnected everything in the plane.
Wave to the crowd. Remember, you're supposed to be the Director General. Now, once you're underway, stop for nobody. I'll follow in 5 minutes.
SIG. There goes the decoy motorcade. The real Director General will follow in the tanker. I hope it works.
So do I, sir.
Come in.
We're ready, sir. If you'll come to the rear entrance. Are you ready, sir?
Yes, Captain.
Right. Now. Your personal jet will be waiting at London International Airport, sir.
I'm impressed by your efficiency. You don't leave much to chance.
Thank you, sir. I ought to report to headquarters.
Sure. Just give the radio operator the frequency.
That won't be necessary.
Captain Scarlet and I are in the control tower at London International Airport. Spectrum agents are concealed in strategic positions. The airport is sealed.
Thank you, Captain. The decoy motorcade is nearing the airport. The tanker won't be far behind.
I admire your safety arrangements, Captain.
Oh, thank you, sir.
How long before we reach the airport?
We'll be there in about 20 minutes.
Delta Tango 19er to London Control.
Come in, Delta Tango.
Request umbrella clearance and weather report.
London Control to Delta Tango, visibility 5 miles.
Cloud 3/10, ceiling 4,000 feet. You are clear to join umbrella at 3. Repeat, 3,000 feet.
Thank you, London Control.
What is your position?
We're 3 miles west of the motorcade. We'll be with you in about 15 minutes.
Angel Leader to London Control. The motorcade is about to enter the airport.
They're at the terminal building. Let's hope our luck holds.
Request permission to leave umbrella.
London Control to Delta Tango. You may commence final approach. Confirm runway 02.
Are you all right, Captain? Captain! What is it, Captain? Are you sick?
I don't know. My head. It's all right. I'm fine. I appreciate all your assistance, Captain.
Good luck, sir.
Thank you.
The Director General is about to board his personal jet.
SIG, Captain Gray. Well, everything's fine so far.
Report from the terminal building, sir. There's some sort of trouble with Delta Tango 19er. They won't open the doors.
What's that?
They won't open the doors, sir.
I don't believe it. The cabin. The whole plane's completely empty. The crew and passengers have vanished. It's starting to move away from the terminal.
What? It's a booby trap. Tell the Premier's jet to take off immediately. That plane's a Mysteron booby trap. I've got to stop it.
I'm coming with you.
SIG, Captain. Destiny Angel. The jet ahead of us is in the hands of the Mysterons. Attack immediately.
SIG.
As soon as we're in range, I'll try for the tires. We're in range. Firing now.
What are you waiting for?
It's jammed.
I'm gonna ram the wheel.
That'll be suicide.
For you, yes. For me, see you later. Continue aerial attack. That's an order.
Brave man. It's a pity he died in vain.
Maybe he didn't die.
What?
In vain.
Captain Scarlet. Captain Captain Scarlet. Captain Captain Scarlet. Captain Scarlet. Captain Scarlet. Indestructible Captain Scarlet.
The Mysterons, sworn enemies of Earth, possessing the ability to recreate an exact likeness of an object or person. But first, they must destroy. Leading the fight, one man fate has made indestructible. His name, Captain Scarlet.
Escort vehicle calling. Everything okay, Macy?
Yeah, everything's fine. We're making good time.
Some job that driver's got. Shipping atomic bombs around.
It's not a bomb, it's a nuclear device for civil use.
What's the difference? It'll still make a mess of the city if anything went wrong.
Oh, relax. What can go wrong?
Hey, Macy, have you gone crazy?
I can't hold it. I just can't hold it. It's out of control. It's out of my control.
This is the voice of the Mysterons. We know that you can hear us, Earthmen. You attacked our complex on Mars, and you will pay a heavy price. Our next act of retaliation will be to destroy the city of London. Do you hear, Earthmen? We will destroy the city of London.
Macy. Can you hear me, Macy? It's no good. The radio's dead.
I'll try and pass. We've got to stop him. He's going too fast. He's not going to make that next turn.
Escort vehicle to HQ. We've lost contact with the transporter. Repeat, we have lost contact.
We're now at the east end of Parkview. Negative.
Nothing. After 2.5 hours, nothing. A 120-ton transporter doesn't just vanish into thin air.
We have every available man working on it, sir.
I don't care if it takes every man we've got. That atomic device must be found. What's the score on the radioactivity check, Captain?
That's out, I'm afraid, Colonel. The transporter is heavily lined with lead. No detectable radiation can get through.
Have you checked on the trigger mechanism?
Yes, sir. It's a 5-key electrical trigger with built-in safety circuits, timed for a 12-hour detonation. But you need the 5 keys to set it, and each one is held by a different person.
Well, that's something. I want that transporter, or the driver, or both, found and fast. Understood?
Yes, sir. Sir.
The Mysterons intend to destroy London. A high destruction ratio nuclear device vanishes. The conclusion's obvious. Lieutenant Green?
Yes, sir?
Make this a red alert. This is a red alert, not a stroll around the deck. Move!
This is Macy. Are you receiving me? Over. Come in, please. Is anyone hearing this? Over. It's dead.
Anyone around?
We hope you've enjoyed our program. Joe Twilight will take you through till 6. It only remains for me to wish you a very good night. Good night, everyone.
Thirteen. Who's there?
Stop!
Daybreak.
Colonel White?
What is it, Lieutenant?
Captain Scarlet has arrived.
Come in, Captain. What's the news on the driver?
He's in one piece, but he's pretty shaken. Captain Blue's bringing him to Cloud Base.
Where exactly was he found?
In a side street near the river, about an hour ago.
Right. When he arrives, take him straight to the conference room. How do you feel, Macy?
Much better, thank you, sir.
I realize you've been through a good deal, but we need your help. Just try to tell us everything you remember. Take your time.
Well, it started late last night. I guess it was around dawn.
Go on.
I came to in the street. How I got there, I just don't know. Well, I was wondering what to do when your people came along in the car. You know the rest.
Thank you, Macy. You've had a bad time. Dr. Fawn will take care of you and
Cut it.
realize you've been through it. Well, we've heard it through twice.
There's not a lot to go on, sir.
It's all we've got.
The computer tells us that there are about 2,000 car parks in London that fit Macy's description.
I don't care if there are 2 million. It's got to be found. Check every word Macy said and then start over and check it again. It's now 0900 hours. The fuse was set just after midnight. That gives us 3 hours. Lieutenant Green, do we have the lab report on Macy's clothing?
It's just come in, sir. Nothing significant. Nothing to help us find the transporter.
We're missing something. I know we're missing something.
Sir, I think I've got it. Lieutenant, let the colonel hear from 904 feet.
I know it sounds fantastic, but it struck 13.
Are you certain about this?
Sure. I had no idea of how long I'd been out, so I counted pretty carefully. It was 13.
He'd been through a rough time. Anyone in his condition could have miscounted.
Right. That's what we assume. Now, let's assume Macy counted correctly and heard Big Ben strike 13. What's the only explanation?
I'm with you, Captain. Lieutenant Green, project central London. Program a circle using Big Ben as center. And how far do you calculate, Captain?
Well, let's see. 760 miles per hour. Well, it's no more than 1,500 yards.
Use a 1,500-yard radius. How many car parks within that area, Lieutenant?
Only two that fit the description. One in Jupiter Way, the other in Park View.
Let's go, Captain Scarlet.
I don't get it.
I'll explain later.
You have less than an hour. Have the police cleared the street?
Just the immediate area. A large-scale evacuation was impossible.
We've checked out the Jupiter Way car park. It's not here.
SIG, Captain Oker. Well, looks like it's our baby.
We'll soon know. There it is. I'll blow the door.
We've located the transporter. Request defusing procedure.
The computer checked on this, Captain. It's a long, tricky procedure, and there just isn't time. The transporter was scheduled to deliver the device to a construction site about 10 miles from your present position.
You will drive the transporter there and take it down to the prepared excavation 2 miles underground. It can be safely allowed to detonate at this point.
Is that understood?
SIG, Colonel.
Your route has been cleared. You have just under 19 minutes.
One more thing. Captain Scarlet drives the transporter alone.
But, Colonel,
That's an order. Good luck, Captain.
Let's go.
I'll lead the way. Keep your foot down. Every second's gonna count. Come on.
How much further?
We must be near. Drive straight into the elevator. I'll get to the control panel. Closing the doors, now. Hold tight. I'm sending her down flat out. Come on, get down there. Brace yourself for the impact. Time's running out. Get back in that lift. Hurry it up.
Take her up.
Are you all right? Captain Scarlet? Are you all right?
I will be, Captain. I will be.
You get quite a view from up here.
It could have looked a lot different.
Yes. Say, you never did explain how you pinpointed that car park.
I've been waiting.
For what?
Midnight. Now, Macy was in the car park, which is a few yards down the street from this restaurant. He was sure he heard 13. And this could only happen at a distance of around 1,500 yards from Big Ben.
Right. But I still don't see how he heard 13.
We're sitting about a mile away from Big Ben. And the chimes we are hearing are taking approximately 4.5 seconds to reach us.
Right.
Well, Macy said he turned on his radio, remember?
Yes.
All right, let's do the same. You count, Captain Scarlet.
All right. That's 2, 3.
Now we're hearing the chimes instantaneously over this radio. The radio's here, Big Ben's over there.
I think I'm beginning to understand.
Good. Now sound travels at 760 miles per hour. That's 7 over the radio, but only 6 live from Big Ben. But Big Ben is 1,500 yards away, so it's 4.5 seconds behind the radio.
The radio is 1 chime ahead.
10.
Now listen.
11. 12. 13.
That last chime came live from Big Ben.
13. I'll make that my lucky number.
Captain Scarlet. Captain Scarlet. Captain Scarlet. Captain Scarlet. Captain Captain Scarlet. Captain Scarlet. Indestructible Captain Scarlet.
The Mysterons, sworn enemies of Earth, possessing the ability to recreate an exact likeness of an object or person. But first, they must destroy. Leading the fight, one man fate has made indestructible. His name, Captain Scarlet.
I
As you know, Colonel, it was a false alarm.
Yes, I kept myself informed. This is your report?
Yes, sir.
I see from this that you were injured, Captain Scarlet.
Very slightly, sir. I'm fine now.
Well, all this is very straightforward. Fine. Captain Scarlet, Captain Blue, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you on behalf of Spectrum for your courage and devotion to our cause.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
The Mysterons will not give up. At this very moment, I feel sure they are planning to continue their war of nerves.
I'm just checking the 4th floor, D block.
Right, Harris.
I'll put the coffee on.
Who's there?
What is it, Harris? Harris! Harris, are you all right? This is Richards. Suspected security break, Block D.
Repeat. Security break, Block D. Seal all exits.
Did you see who it was, Harris?
Through there.
Oh, don't worry, we'll get him.
He came down here.
I think we've got him cornered.
This is the voice of the Mysterons. We will continue to take our revenge. You started the shockwave with your unprovoked attack on our Martian complex. This act of aggression will be revenged. Our retaliation will be slow, but nonetheless effective. You will pay in full.
Members of Spectrum, the Mysterons have made their first mistake. If you will look at the screen...
It looks like Captain Black.
Right, it is indeed. This photograph was taken by a concealed security camera at the Culver Atomic Center and has been positively identified as Captain Black.
So he is alive.
Very much so, Captain Blue. And it proves that our suspicions were well founded. From the moment he returned to Earth from the Martian expedition, Captain Black has been working for the Mysterons.
You said the Mysterons had made their first mistake, sir?
Yes. Captain Black made an unsuccessful attempt to break the security at the Culver Atomic Center.
What was he trying to do, sir?
We don't know,
But to make good his escape, he was forced to enter a radioactive area.
That means he'll develop radiation sickness.
No, Captain. The radiation was only slight. In fact, he exposed himself to a short-life atomic isotope. This will not harm him physically, but for the next 48 hours, until the effect wears off, he is detectable.
You mean he'll be a radioactive source for the next 2 days?
Exactly. With directional long-range Geiger counters, we'll be able to track down and pinpoint this Mysteron agent. The tables are turned. The manhunt for Captain Black is on.
If I was in Captain Black's shoes, I'd head for the city, not the wide open spaces.
We have to cover every possibility.
Well, I hope we see some action. Where do we turn?
Right, just ahead. Aptly named.
How's that?
Stone Point Village. SPV.
Switch on the display, Lieutenant.
Right, sir.
Indicate the positions of the detector trucks carrying the directional Geiger counters.
Anything?
No, nothing above natural radiation.
I'll start a new sweep.
Sir, can I fly down and help in the manhunt?
No, Lieutenant, I need you here.
But, Colonel, the area is completely surrounded. All we can do is watch as they close in.
I'm sorry. If Captain Black is to be caught, we must make sure Central Control is fully manned.
Yes, sir. I just wish I could meet him face to face. Just once.
Be with you in a minute, sir. Just fixing this wiring. Hey, what are you doing? What are you trying to do? Hold it! Stop! Help!
What is it, Captain Scarlet?
We're about to pick up a Spectrum pursuit vehicle. Any news of Captain Black?
Not yet, but I'll keep you informed.
There it is ahead.
Where is everyone?
I don't know. There should be somebody around.
I've been expecting you. You've come for the SPV. That's right. Follow me. It's hidden in a dummy oil storage tank. I'll get the key. Stay back here with me. Let's see, here it is.
You knew it was a trap.
I suspected it.
How?
He didn't ask for our identification. I think we'd better take a look around. This is the work of the Mysterons.
So the mechanic was a Mysteron reconstruction.
Go on, Captain Scarlet.
Well, it looks as though Captain Black was here, all right. And recently. The SPV is gone.
He could have taken it.
What's the number?
0782.
Thank you, Captain. The display, Lieutenant.
Right away, sir.
Display the position of that filling station.
There it is, Colonel.
Yes, Lieutenant. If Captain Black was there, he is indeed in our net. All we have to do is tighten it.
I've got something.
Are you sure?
Yes, it's a positive bearing. It must be him.
I'm in number 3 tracking vehicle. We have a bearing of
023 degrees, 17 minutes.
Did you get that, Colonel?
023.17.
Yes, thank you, Captain. Project that bearing, Lieutenant, and check with all other tracking vehicles.
Yes, sir. I have a bearing from number 8. Projecting now.
There it is. We found him. Relay that position to all Spectrum personnel. Order the nearest Angel to try and make visual contact.
Yes, sir. Proceed to area reference 3DN. Captain Black is believed to be in this vicinity. Seek and report.
SIG.
Our latest information indicates that Captain Black should reach your checkpoint in approximately 2 minutes.
What sort of vehicle is he driving?
We have no confirmation, but it could be Spectrum Pursuit Vehicle 0782.
I have visual contact with SPV 0782. It's heading south along Highway 74.
Confirm SPV as hostile vehicle. You know what to do.
Don't worry, Lieutenant. We'll stop it.
Colonel, I'd like permission to go down there.
I'm sorry, Green. I told you before, you're needed here.
But, Colonel...
Don't mention it again, Lieutenant. And that's an order. We have work to do.
We are in position. Still no sign of the SPV.
Captain Black, the Earthmen have erected a roadblock ahead of you. Turn off and go back to the atomic center.
You should have reached that roadblock by now.
Colonel White?
Go ahead, Symphony.
I've lost contact. He must have turned off the road.
Right, Symphony. Continue aerial search.
Have you lost him, Colonel?
No, the radiation still gives his position away. May just take a little longer.
Symphony reported the SPV pulled off the road somewhere along here. Keep your eyes open.
Looks like we could see some action after all.
So much for your idea that Captain Black would head for the city.
All right, all right. Hey, wait a minute. Slow down. That could be it.
I'll tell Cloud Base and then we'll go in.
was here.
Right. But it looks like he headed back to the road. Let's get back to the car.
Wait.
What is it?
A medallion. It's Symphony's.
It can't be.
It's Symphony's, I tell you. I gave it to her on her birthday.
You're right. Look. Over there.
Symphony Angel had no right to land. Her orders were to maintain aerial surveillance.
Use your initiative, they say.
I heard that, Lieutenant. Initiative should never clash with discipline.
Yes, sir. What's happening to Symphony? Is Captain Black holding her?
It's highly possible, but this operation will not be affected by consideration for any individual. Proceed as planned. Move everyone in.
Proceed to new position. 5EA immediately.
SIG, we're moving out. The noose is really tightening.
What's wrong?
Nothing.
Don't worry. Symphony will be all right. Adam?
Yeah, I'm fine.
The radioactivity is good for another 24 hours. He can't get far. Come on, Adam.
You better not let the Colonel hear you call me that.
Yes, sir, Captain Blue.
SIG, Captain Scarlet. Right. Let's go get him.
Do you have that new bearing?
Yes, but there's something I can't quite...
Wow! What happened? What is it?
I'm getting a reading 10 times normal. Bearing 12804. Of course, we're in line with the Culver Atomic Center.
Captain Black crashed the gates with the SPV. The whole center is completely surrounded. He's in here, all right.
But we don't know his exact position.
Thank you, Captain Oka. Stand by for further orders.
Why go back to the atomic center, sir?
If you want to hide an apple tree, you put it in an orchard. Captain Black must have known he was radioactive, so he returns to the atomic center.
Where there is enough free radiation to make him undetectable.
Exactly. Well, Lieutenant, I think we'll play a waiting game.
Are we going to just sit here and look at each other?
It's a pretty big plant. He could be anywhere.
Well, let's get in there and find him.
Our orders are to wait.
What about Symphony?
Symphony? I just hope she's all right.
How long do you intend to keep me here? It's only a matter of time. The place is surrounded. What are you doing? No. No, you can't do it.
I'm going in.
No, Captain Blue. We wait.
I am sorry, Symphony Angel, but you leave me no choice.
That voice. You'll never get away with this.
Prepare to die. The radiation will kill you in 3 minutes. Mysterons also have compassion. I am going to give you one chance.
Colonel, the SPV has crashed the gates.
Right. Make certain Captain Black is in it, and don't lose him.
Yes, I've got a positive reading.
It's him, all right.
He's heading south.
Right. He won't get far. There's a roadblock half a mile down the road. Come on.
Captain Black, you are completely surrounded. Come out with your hands up. All right. We're coming in.
Symphony.
How are you feeling, Symphony?
She's all right, Colonel. Just badly shaken.
I'm sorry, sir. I feel I let you down.
All right, Symphony. But remember, initiative should never clash with discipline.
Yes, sir.
The Mysterons wage a war of nerves. Captain Black gave you a chance to escape, and you took it.
He subjected you to radiation, knowing we would pick it up, think it was him in the SPV, and leave the gate unguarded.
He even went through a cleansing unit before he left, to get rid of his own radiation.
Well, we've been tricked. But we've learned a lot. The Mysterons are capable of making mistakes. Let us take consolation from this in the continuing fight. Aye, that's all.
Symphony,
What is it?
one thing puzzles me. Why didn't you stop the SPV just outside the gates?
Don't tell anyone, Lieutenant, but that's the first time I've ever driven an SPV.
Captain Scarlet. Captain Scarlet. Captain Scarlet. Captain Captain Scarlet. Captain Captain Scarlet. Captain Scarlet. Indestructible Captain Scarlet.